Good day, good people, and welcome back to my channel. Now, today's video, I'm not going to hold you guys for that long. This is number 2 for today, but there are some things that I want to get into. But before we get into all that, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscription button, hit that notification button and bell so that way you can be notified every time I'm dropping a video. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and as always, drop a comment in the comment section. Now, let's get to today's video. In today's video, I'm not going to hold you guys for that long, but there are some things that I definitely want to get into when we're discussing the situation with Miss Tahiry and Joe Budden. Now, recently, Joe discussed the situations that was going on with Diddy, and he was honestly saying things like, you know, the situation is disgusting and is foul and all these other things, when in reality, we know that, how can I say this? It's like this. Joe was discussing on this topic, but at the end of the day, Joe should have probably been the last person to talk about this topic. Certain things, certain people shouldn't discuss. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying that for Joe is because every relationship that we have known Joe to been in, he's been allegedly abusive to these women. Not only has Joe admitted back in the day about putting his hands on some of the ladies, 2 women in particular have come forth and talked about how Joe's put their hands, put hands on them. And one of them being Miss Tahiry, the other one being Santana, I believe that's her last name, or what she was going by when she was on Love and Hip Hop. Both of these ladies were on Love and Hip Hop with him. Of course, Tahiry started off first because she's been with him, since his beginning days. And she was actually with Joe when he was heavily on drugs. And when he was discussing this, she says that this triggered her and it made her feel a certain type of way, and I'm going to let you guys see exactly what she said, but it was triggering to her. And she said, she talked about how a time where Joe, when she named Joe, did an act with her and how it was hard for her. And to hear him, talking about Diddy in a way, she almost puts him in the same category as Diddy. Joe comes out and he gives a lengthy, little plethora of things that he wants to say. First of all, he called her a gold digger and said that she was lying and a whole bunch of other stuff. But he not once didn't denounce that he didn't put his hands on him. And he knows that he's put his hands on him. He knows that he's admitted that. The one other thing that I want to say about the situation is, I wish that Tahiry did not, I wish that she didn't even comment at all. I wish that Joe never would have said anything, because people are still going to have something to say about Joe regardless if she says something or not. The reason why I don't like the fact that she said something is because, number one, she addressed his name. The last we heard, Joe said that, she's selling mattresses and he bought a mattress from her and, made her a sale, and that they were cool. So in my face, if you guys are allegedly cool and have moved past all of the, things that have happened in your previous relationships, then why are you discussing this situation? Why are you talking about it's triggering? And why are you putting my name out here on the internet? Second of all, Joe has came out and, hit her back today and has talked about how she was putting hands on him. She used to get physical with him. And we know that he did get physical with her on multiple occasions, but I do believe that she got physical with him. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, number one, she does seem like she got that in her. And number two, she's shown us what she's got in her. I don't know if you guys remember the show, Marriage Boot Camp, but Tahiry was on that show. And when she was on that show, she was actually dating a gentleman by the name of, I believe it's Vado or Vito, is one of those. But she was actually dating a gentleman, and he's a rapper. And on this show, she didn't let him talk. She just was so disrespectful. And I say this all the time. Women shouldn't be disrespectful to men. Number one, men are so much stronger than us. I don't care if they're a smaller man. Men just are built totally different than women. Number two, if you feel like you have to get disrespectful with someone, it's just best to get the heck up out of there. She didn't do that with Joey. And I don't know if she was used to that relationship and that dynamic that she had when she was dating Joe Budden, and she just carried it on to the rest of her relationships. But when she was on this show and when she was dating this Vado dude, she actually was getting very aggressive. She actually picked up some dang apples, some green apples, and threw a couple of them at bruh. Like, and one of them actually ended up hitting him in his face. Then from there, it irritated my soul when they got to a part where they were talking to the doctors and they were in a room full of all the people, and everybody had already been seeing her turn up on bruh. Like, real talk, turn up on him. And there was a part where she was like, yeah, he's trying to make me seem like I'm a bad person and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, he's not trying to make it seem like you're a bad person. And you could tell that that was a trigger for him, because in that moment when she said that, this brother got up and it seemed like he went to going ahead and, about to choke her out. And the doctor had to come up over there and pull him off. But it was like, you could tell that he had it with her. You had already threw apples at me. You've been disrespectful even before that. And then after the apple throwing, you're going to sit in this room and tell all of these strangers who are also celebrities in this camera that's in our face for a television show that I am trying to make you seem like you're a certain type of way. When in reality, when Joe said that she was putting her hands on him, I believe it. Because if you got up, if you was talking so aggressive to this man, she walked up in Vato's face and was doing all different types of stuff. And it was just disrespectful. So if you're doing all that to him, and this is years later after Joe, I can only imagine what you was doing when you was in a relationship with Joe. Like I said, no, it's not right. And I don't think that Joe is a good person to come out and be talking about this situation. He should just leave it to the music, and that's that. But at the end of the day, he never did shy away from, what he was accused of. He actually admitted that what he did himself. But for her to have allegedly have moved on and been cool, you're going to write a comment. And not only did you write a comment, and she could have wrote a comment and expressed her feelings. She could have done that. But she added his name to it and opened up those wounds again. So when you did that, it caused him to have to come back out and feel like he needed to say something. So now he's going to come out and say something. And we better hope that Votto don't come out and say anything, because what you did to him on that show, national television, and then tried to flip it around to how he was just X, Y, and Z, that's not cool. And a lot of women sometimes put themselves in a similar situations. I don't think personally that Cassie was fighting Diddy back, or any of the other women who he's in a relationship with besides Kim, when we got that story, that he had to go to the hospital for the screwdriver in his arm. But the situations seem to be, it's like it's the same with, we talking about the B, but when we are talking about like the situations, it's not the same. Like, it's not. And honestly, you kept attaching yourself to Joey by saying Joey, Joey, Joey. That's why I'm calling him Joey in this damn video, because that's all she called him. She didn't even call him Joe Budden or Joe. She calls him Joey. And she's been doing that for a while. But it's like, if you don't want to be attached to a person that has been doing nothing like that, and or doing something like that, especially in your past, and you know that he continuously did that in other relationships, why are you even mentioning his name? Move on from the situation that happened years ago, because it's like, if you're not going to write a tell-all or come out with your own docuseries on what happened between you and Joe, we really don't want to hear nothing in them comment sections and trying to get like sympathy and stuff. It's like now everybody is coming out when it's like, you guys could have been came out, and Joey is not a Diddy. So it's like, what was stopping you from coming out even years ago saying so? It wasn't all of these stories coming out and all of this graphic. There were certain things that came out, but then again, like how we kept seeing you on the show, he would get messed up and you would go right back. You would go start talking to his mom. You would come. It was some type of way for her to keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be done, be done. But don't try to really put, blame on him when you were doing the same thing and you did it also in multiple relationships to multiple men. Y'all drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about all this, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next video respectfully.